Hello, everybody. Today, I wanted to talk about an experience that's very close to my heart. So, I grew up in a single parent household, and this experience shaped me to be the person that I am today. It shapes me to be independent. It shapes me to not worry. It shapes me to find the joy in the little things. It also shapes me to be a loving and giving individual. But most of this personality that was developed was because of my mom. Because my mom possessed all of those traits. And not only did she possess all of these traits within her personality as a human in general, but as a parent, a single parent. Growing up, I had to watch her sacrifice. I had to watch her work extra hard, overcompensate for the lack of that extra parental influence in our lives. She raised 3 boys on her own. I can't necessarily say on her own, but she had the help of some family members and every now and then, but the soul of our support came from just my mom by herself. And what I really wanted to come on here and talk about was how growing up in a single parent household affects you as an individual. The first thing is you grow up with this sense of searching, needing more all the time. And not because it isn't being provided for you, but because there's a void. There's an emotional void in your life of that other parent. You have this idea in your head that maybe it was something that you had done, or you were the problem, or you have this guilt because your mother or your father is overcompensating and having to put in the extra work to provide for you. So you feel like you need to do more. You feel like you need to either stay out of the way or you need to make something happen, come up with some kind of magical experience to fix everything. I remember a moment in my life growing up when I was walking past my mother's room and I heard her crying. And the door was closed, so obviously that meant like, don't come in. And my mom, I've never seen my mom cry often. That's because she's always had to put on a strong presence. She always had to be both that emotional support and that strength for the household because she was doing everything by herself. And so because of that, I thought I had to be that way. So this energy of not being able to be emotionally expressive or not being able to show signs of weakness kind of, rubbed off on me. And there was also this feeling of guilt that was over my shoulders as well, almost as if like I was a burden. But my mother never made me feel that I was a burden. She did what she had to do to take care of us, and she knew that that was something that she had to do. But there was a moment in time in my life when I didn't really get to see my mom that often because she was working. She was constantly working. I remember her having 3 jobs at one point in time in our lives, and I, for a long time, had this sense of loneliness because I had this lack of parental affection that most children get to grow up with if you have 2 parents in your household. And even if you have a parent that can take care of you financially, you still need that emotional support, that emotional security growing up as a child, being instilled in you. And if you don't have that, you grow up with this sense of lacking, a sense of needing more all the time, which can grow into addictive behaviors, emotional outbursts, all sorts of things. Growing up, I wanted to do the best I could for my mom. I wanted to be a superstar. I wanted to do whatever it was that was going to bring me the most money so that I could feel like I could return this favor for what my mom did for me. And is still doing for me to this day. I know that there are a lot of people out there that feel the same way that I do. And I want you to know that you are not alone. You didn't go through this experience alone. There are so many people that you can talk to and express these feelings that you have inside of you. And I also want to say thank you to all of the parents out there. And even if the parents aren't around, even if you're adopted, or your grandmother is taking care of you, or a cousin is taking care of you, or an aunt or uncle, they need gratitude. This light needs to be shined on them, letting them know that we appreciate you. We appreciate your hard work. We appreciate you stepping in and overcompensating and doing more, sacrificing. My mom, she didn't really have much of a social life outside of taking care of her children. Her entire life, she had been taking care of us. You know, she had my oldest brother when she was young, and she had me in her mid-20s, and she had my youngest brother in her late 20s. And so her growing up, she, was a parent. She had been parenting. And when she tried to have a social life, we were still growing up. So we still needed that attention. So there are moments now that I wish I can go back and kind of change things around. But you get to a point in your life where you realize that everything happens for a reason. I wouldn't be the person that I am today had I had the influence of my father in my life. And not to say that my father is a bad individual. I love my dad, but the reality is that he wasn't around. And now I'm to a place in my life where I'm okay with that. I had to get to that place early on, but I'm not gonna act like it didn't affect me. I grew up in the inner city of North St. Louis, and I was a young, black, gay male growing up in a performing arts school, so that was fine, but it was still in the black society. And there were a lot of things that I had to go through. There were a lot of things that my mother had to witness me going through. There were a lot of things that she had to overcompensate for and figure out on her own. I don't know how she did it, but she did it. And I'm grateful for her. And I'm grateful for all of the parents out there that are doing it and still doing it. Congratulations. We need to give them a pat on the shoulder. So this video is to first raise awareness, and second, give kudos to those people out there that are raising these families as a single parent. Thank you.